Good afternoon, John O'Flaherty, the B3 Burner. Today is Friday, September the 29th, and we got to go back and look at some car videos that I have been dragging my feet on from the spring and the summer. I've been busy over the summer. Mostly the band's been gigging, and that's taken my attention away from YouTube and videos. So what I want to do is string these together, and I haven't decided whether I want to make a separate video for each day or put all the days on one video. I'll have to decide that as I go, so I'll let you know, or you'll see how many I put in each video. I got like I got 6 or 7 of them, something like that. So we'll see what happens. Stand by. Good afternoon, John O'Flaherty again. It is now October 17th, several weeks past September 29th, so that gives you an idea of how long it's taken for me to string these together. Yes, I have decided I'm not going to run all 9 videos into one video. It would turn out to be an hour and 41 minutes long. Unacceptable. So what we're going to do, and it splices up pretty evenly, I'm going to put videos 1 through 3 in one video, 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9 in the second and third videos, and it'll work out to be about 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and 40 minutes approximately each one in succession. So we're going to go with that, and so this video here will be videos 1 through 3. And the beautiful poster pretty much says it all. Classic swap meet in Turlock, Sunday, May 7th, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's usually when these start, unless it's wintertime, and then it starts at 7 a.m. I was one of the first ones there at 5:34 a.m. In fact, I was the first one, right at the gate. Did it do me much good? Well, as far as being first before everybody else behind me, but they already had some cars parked inside from the night before. People who helped get the swap meet set up had preferential treatment, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. And they also cordoned off certain areas using caution tape for the C10 pickup trucks, Chevy C10 pickup trucks. So that limited the space where I could park, but that's okay because I took my favorite spot by the tree in front of the Assyrian American Civic Club building. And there I am from another angle facing front, nice Chevy parked to my right, a pickup truck that was towing I think a 64 Mustang for sale to my left, and then I had a nice decent-sized pathway between my car and the Assyrian building for easy exit, as opposed to getting stuck on the grass between 2 rows of cars had I decided I wanted to leave early, but I don't usually do that. And my window tag making it official, talk about when the time comes that you could use a permanent ink marker with a thicker ink pen as opposed to a scrappy old ballpoint pen that needed scribbling to get it started from my glove box. That basically made it official, and you'll notice that under price I said show only. Like I said, this is the biggest bargain you can find for $25, showing the car at the for sale corral without actually selling it. Though it is interesting to have people come up to me and ask me how much you selling it for. I could name any price and see if theoretically they would grab at it or not. Well, here I am at the Turlock swap meet, and that's a nice Mustang on a trailer in the background. Oh, there goes a nice Thunderbird. Anyway, I'm easily distracted. Just arrived here at the Turlock swap meet. It's 6:20 or 6:18, and they just opened the gates at 6 o'clock. So There it is, and I'll show you more pictures and we'll see how this goes. And here's a picture of one of my taillights on my 73 Caddy. And I took a picture of this to demonstrate one thing. 71, 72, and 73 taillights almost all look the same. In fact, the car for those 3 years just about looked the same. The model-wise, shape-wise, and headlights and taillights. But there were some specific differences if you look closely. Notice that the top and the bottom of the diamond is separated into two opposing triangles, the top one being a bulb and the bottom, how did I say it? The top one being a bulb and the bottom one being a reflector. And you can see it reflecting the sunlight as I took the picture. 71 is all bulb, top and bottom, without any division. It just looks like a diamond. And it's got a vertical dividing line down the middle. 72 looks the same as a 71 minus the dividing line, the vertical dividing line down the middle. And 73 is split like you see here. And here are all the Chevy C10s, and as you could see, they were packed in tight. You couldn't swing a cat without hitting a C10. To all you PETA people out there and animal lovers, that's a figurative expression, not literal. And another tight zoom shot of C10s right over here. Moving away from C10s for a little bit, I've got a soft spot for this poor Mark III that's a little tore up for sale for $4,000 in the for sale corral. Nobody seemed to be paying any attention to it except me. It looks like right here that the doors are either ripped off for the headlights or they're stuck in the up position. You'll see from the picture in the rear that the vinyl top is not doing so good and is in desperate need of replacing, and those are not the original wheels that are supposed to go with this car. Well, here's the same car from the rear. You can see $4,000 scribbled on the rear window with paint or chalk or something. The paint under the passenger side sail panel or C-pillar isn't doing so good. But the taillights are all in place. It doesn't appear to have any cracked lenses. So, and the chrome is in decent shape from what I can see. So you're starting off with some things in in at least somewhat decent condition. Hopefully somebody who loves this car went and bought it. And here's some video of some C10s with some music that if I'm not careful, I'm going to get a copyright strike from YouTube, so I try to turn it down as much as possible. Well, whoever owns this C10 better like the green, the color of money. But it's not just any green, it's a beautiful sparkling paint job, and it's a two-tone, white and green. White top, white bottom. Well, actually the kick panel, the rocker panels are green as well. Nice color combination, works well with this truck. Another green C10, this one with what looks like LED headlights. More of an olive green, a convertible, or at least it's a hard top that he took the top off of, hard to tell. But look at the interior shots, which I'm going to show you next. Feast your eyes on that beautiful leather. Complained that there weren't enough cup holders back in the 70s. Well, he made up for it now with this remanufactured interior. Door panels match the seats very well. And I love the color-keyed glove compartment door that matches the exterior of the truck. Steering wheel looks nice, new gauges, new pedals. I believe he also has a center screen, a center console screen. All the beauty of a classic truck, but with the amenities of a newer vehicle. And here's an aisle of C10s with rows stacked up on either side, people walking between them and enjoying their pristine beauty as C10s were spoken here, specifically at this swap meet. Well, if you're not an ultra big fan of pickup trucks but still like something big in the Chevy department, here's something for you. It looks like some sort of Chevy Suburban. Cheyenne edition or something. Hard to read the emblem on the side. I'm just taking a guess based on prior experience. I'm a sucker for two-tone, but I'm also specifically a sucker for burnt sienna or dark orangish tan, whatever that is. And he's got a beautiful speaker system in the rear. Unfortunately, I did not take any pictures of this vehicle from the side or the front. And if you're not into trucks at all, how about this Mopar product? Hard for me to tell right here if it's a Plymouth or a Chrysler or a Dodge. I know Mopar people are going to crucify me for saying that. I think it's a Plymouth. Beautiful olive green, period correct color. I think it's a 72 or a 71, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't hold me to that. Beautiful car. And here's what I think is a beautiful 66. I think it's a 66 by the license plate. Chevy Caprice, not an Impala, but a Caprice, in sort of a coffee, halfway between coffee and a deep reddish color, sort of on the redder side of burnt sienna. You can see the interior is a little closer to dark red. And we'll take a closer look at the interior in just a bit. And there it is. It looks like a beautiful crushed velvet or something like that. The interior matches the outside, though looks a few shades of red or closer to red than the outside does. Still a beautiful car. I like the cream-colored dashboard. That was back when they made metal steering wheels and metal dashboard. So really nice, beautiful classic car. 1964 Pontiac Catalina. And that video was all of 2 seconds, so it hardly did the car justice. I don't even know why I included it. It's just a snippet. But this is a 1964 Pontiac Catalina with stacked headlights, inset grille. Beautiful car. Bring a trailer day, I guess. It's a convertible. The top is rolled down, the windows are rolled up. It's a nice car. And the next to last picture, I'm not sure if I took this picture. I don't remember taking it. So I think it's a freeze frame of somebody else's YouTube video of my car. Interesting perspective when other people, well, see your car and then you see it on their video. Kind of a strange, almost a third-person experience. And let's wrap up today's festivities with a train crossing. So, car show number 2, 6 days later, May 13th, and we're at Mike's place. He puts on a private Cars and Coffee for his friends. For that reason and his privacy, no last names. And this is a nice row of cars, and I'd like to bring your attention to the one more or less in the center of the screen. We take a closer look at this car, and we can see that it is a Chevy Nova SS. Year, I do not know, but what I do know is I love the color. The gold stripes with the orangish burnt sienna main body color. That is a beautiful looking car. Nice wheels, nice engine components, just everything looking very nice. About the only thing I might do is put wider tires on the back. And from the rear, you can really appreciate the stripes. The hood was up on the front view, so that's why you couldn't see it that well. But look at those nice broad stripes. Really works with the car well. And I don't have a picture of it right here that's full, but that salmon pink vehicle to the left looks pretty nice as well. Here we have one of the newer Corvettes adorned in royal blue. It always amazes me how car companies can update cars well, in this case, make it look like a lot of other cars out there, but still, you can readily tell it's a Corvette. It's styled like like a lot of the newer cars, but has maintained its Corvette appearance, and that's important. I don't know if this is a 2023 or because I don't know my date cutoffs for the Vettes in their series, but if this isn't a 2023, it's pretty darn close. Beautiful car, and very modern and updated, but still, and the most important thing, it still looks like a Corvette. And now you can see the same car from the back, and I want to bring your attention to the double sets of taillights. The classic Corvette had double round taillights. You can see that this is an update where they look more like triangles or arrows, but the idea is the same. And I believe on the insides of those taillights, or at least the centermost ones closest to the Corvette lettering in the rear, are the backup lights, which is exactly what they used to do with some of the older Vettes. So again, maintaining Corvette style, but very much updated. That's kind of how all cars are going this day. But the Corvette is such an icon that it's really fun to compare and contrast what it looks like. Really a beautiful car, and nice that it came to the show. We now move from a very new Corvette to a rather old truck. Nice pickup truck done up in, I don't know if that's black or dark green, but you'll notice the patina on the fender, the roof, and the hood, and something. And if you look at the radiator, there's some writing, and we're about to see what it says right now. Yes, it is cool. No, I'm not going to paint it. So for those who are haters on patina cars and think that everything should have a nice fresh paint job, well, patina is in, like it or not, and he's making it very clear how he feels about that. He's not going to paint the car. The truck will stay patinaed. You can see here that several cars are already parked. Mike decided to do something a little bit different. He usually parks cars, the first cars that arrive, along the east fence, which would have been behind me from this shot. He decided to line them up on the north fence to start with. And so there they are. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people have arrived, not to mention those that are parked in front of the entrance to the garage. And since it was the front vehicle in the last shot, let's take a closer look at this aqua-colored Chevy truck. It's a panel van is what it looks like. And the interesting thing about Chevys, or at least this particular van, is that Chevys of the era tended to mount the turn signal lamps in the hood above the headlights, whereas Fords, the turn signals were always mounted below the headlights. It's got an old yellow on black commercial license plate, a few patches that maybe need painting on the left side below the mirror and on the door, and interesting color combination for the wheels, red as opposed to matching aqua. I'm sure it has a name other than aqua. Car companies tend to have flashy color names. This one no different, I'm sure. And they had double mirrors back then. A lot of cars of this vintage did not come with a passenger side mirror, but because it's kind of hard to see out the back, they decided to put 2 mirrors on this truck. And I'm starting to run out of things to say about it, so I'll just leave it at that. Here are the three cars that parked in front of the garage. The blue rat rod, or hot rod I should say, that's about the same color as the Corvette, the gold Camaro, and the Corvette on the far side. A closer look at the gold car that was in the center of the previous picture. This is a Camaro Z28, it looks like. Year unknown. I don't know my Camaros real well, but that gold and that black contrast really well with each other. It looks like a New Orleans Saints pace car. No, I'm just kidding. It looks a lot better than even that. For you Camaro fans out there, this one's a real treat. Here are all the cars along the north fence, taken from the west end looking east. Now we look at the last car on the north row from its passenger side. This is a Dodge Charger, year unknown. And another look at it from the driver's side. I like the wheels. The top needs a little bit of TLC, but other than that, looks okay. White isn't my most favorite color, but if it's numbers matching, you don't want to mess with that. We all know what Camaros look like from the days of old, but here's an example of a newer Camaro. Again, I don't know the exact year, but I love the green stripes down the center of the hood and the matching seat belts in the passenger seats. It's convertible. Looks like that might double as a roll bar in the back. I'm not sure. The tires look nice. Low profile tires with large wheels, and fog lamps accompany the headlights. Good looking car. And I didn't even realize I have a picture of the interior of the Camaro SS. The seats, the headrests have the letters SS stitched into them, so there's no doubt what you're driving. Those aren't the seat belts. Those are little embroidered patches stitched into the seats in green and white, so that you don't forget the color of the car you're driving. No, it's a nice compliment. I like that. And I don't think that's a roll bar in the rear. I think that's just a windscreen to help stop it from being so windy when the top is down. Are those rear seats in there? No, I don't think so. I think that's just where the convertible top folds in. And parked next to the previous Camaro SS is another one. Camaro SS, again, year unknown, though they look very similar years. They might be the same exact year, same exact model, certainly. Beautiful color. I like the two-tone green and white, but I also like this burnt orangish, reddish color also. That's one of my favorite colors, and the tinted windows complement it real well. Again, real nice wheels with beautiful low-profile tires, really make it stand out. And again, complementary fog lights included with the headlights. And yet another Camaro Z28. I wonder if all three of these people who parked next to each other knew each other. That's could be quite possible. I like the color of this car. It's kind of a cross between a dark blue and a turquoise, a deep aqua. Hard to tell. I like the hood scoop. You can tell it's a few years older than the other ones. It's got the thin, narrow rectangular four headlights, and the fog lights are in inset and closer to each other toward the center of the car as opposed to the other ones. And wraparound turn signals and side marker lights, low profile tires, not the same wheels, but equally nice wheels. It's just again, a good looking car, a model of Camaro, a few years older, but it's aged very well, and the owner has it in very good condition. and a very nice looking Pontiac Firebird, a few years older. You can just kind of tell by its design, but it's in excellent shape and well taken care of. I like the fog lights near the center of the front fascia, the low profile tires, and the wheels look nice. It's a T-top or an I-top, depending upon how you want to look at it. It has a nice rear spoiler, and the side marker in the left front is really interesting looking. It looks like it has a clear lens with a well, you can't see it, but if it's got a clear lens, it has to have an amber bulb to glow orange at night, or amber at night, and it may in fact even be LED, so hard to tell from that angle, but kind of interesting that they didn't choose an orange lens, but rather a clear one. So I didn't go down the row in perfect order because I already talked about the aqua colored panel van earlier. So now it's time to look at my car, the white Cadillac 73 Coupe de Ville. White doesn't show dirt. I don't think I actually washed it for this meet. I merely detail sprayed it. I don't usually display it with the hood up, but I wanted to be different, and I think I cleaned the air filter cover if nothing else. So it was an attempt to show that off, even if the underside of a 472 engine, or the top of a 472 engine, isn't the most exciting thing to look at in stock condition. And here's the last still photograph of the day. It's a tight zoom shot of my car, taken about an hour and a half after the last one. I had to kind of make a hasty flight after this. I had a gig coming up in Sacramento in the afternoon. Kind of had to hightail it out of there and get ready. Interesting thing about tight zoom shots, and I'm not a professional photographer, and an iPhone only does digital zoom. I don't think there's much physical zoom capability, but it narrows the area of focus or degree of focus. What do they call? Field of view. Field of view from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen is not very much. It's narrower, and the depth of field from front to back is much narrower. It looks like the car is ultra wide and pushed into the back fence. It looks like there's 3 feet between the front bumper and the fence, if even that, if you're looking at it head on. Of course, it's not like that in real life, but that's what narrow depth of field photos do for zoom shots, and it's like I said, an interesting perspective. You really capture the essence of the high and low beam headlights separated by the turn signal and the wide grille in this particular situation. So I'll continue with videos. Probably won't talk through them, but just let them play and let you see what's going on.
Yeah, and my wife, we had the one before, and she loved it. So when I got rid of it, she was kind of sad.
You take care now.
You too, sir. Have a great day.
Okay, so let me set this up for you. Kerr Park is a small park on the northeast corner of the city of Oakdale, California. It's, to walk through it, it's pretty big, but in terms of its notoriety and how well it's known, it's a small park. This isn't a car show with vendors on the side. It was a vendor show with a car show on the side. The cars were not the main feature. They were just there for anybody who wanted to show up on, like I said, on the side. And when I arrived, and you can see my car on the far left, there were only 9 of us. And as we look at the other pictures, the last one, you'll see a car on the far end, the far west end, as we're looking south here. And it looks like there were cars that were there earlier that have since left. And here's cars 5 through 8, counting from left to right, and the 9th one is on the far end. Looks like there's somebody standing there with a blue outfit. Notice that all the cars are in the sun. The vendors got the shade. The car owners got the sun. Luckily, it wasn't too hot. We had a unseasonably cool June, but still, it would have been nice to get the cars in the shade, but the cars were an afterthought. And finally, believe it or not, this is the 3rd and final picture showing the last set of cars all the way to the west, with a big gap between the salmon pink colored one and what looked like the black and white two-tone Chevy at the end. Really hard to see that from here. Should have used a zoom lens. Anyway, what I have next is video, but unfortunately there was a very loud song that's probably copywritten that I'm going to probably have to cut out most of it or turn it way down and then describe the car scene to you. So from there, let's go ahead to that. Okay, this is the Kerr Park car show with vendors included here in Oakdale. Let's take a look. Real quick, here's my 73 Caddy. That looks like an old Henry Ford product, maybe a Model A, Model T. There's an MG. Looks like a 30 or a 32 Ford. That's a big bulked up Volkswagen Bug. This looks like a Ford Fairlane. Nice color. I love that red. This looks like a 57 Ford Custom. This is a Ford Fairlane. Looks a lot like my friend Wade's. And this is a Chevy Malibu convertible. Looks like it might be about a 69 or a 70. Can't get the whole car in the frame, it's so big. I think this is Wade's car. I think. It turns out that was not my friend Wade's car, but it was very close looking. I had to ask him, was he there that day? He said no. There's that white car again. I think this is a 56 or a 55. I can't quite read that license plate frame. There's the Bug again. And it turns out that I don't know what that year is. That one's not on the license plate frame. There's the MG Midget. This is a 31. This is a 31 Ford. I didn't see that at first from the front. And then there's my 73 Cadillac. You know, you go back 50 years and my car seems so old compared to other cars of today, but you look at it next to that vintage Ford and it looks like modern, like it just rolled off the assembly line. I guess it's all relative, really. And there you go. That's pretty much it.